Honourable Member for Riverina and the Parliamentary Secretary to the Minister for Finance, and the member has the call.
Thank you, Mr Deputy Speaker. And the member for Chifley should have more respect for the National Party. Should have more respect for the National Party. But let's start with the federal member for McMahon, whose matter of public importance this is today. And the member for McMahon, who's also the Shadow Treasurer, on his letterhead he uses the word leadership. Well, he just told me that he actually never had the GrainCorp issue across his desk. But I put it to him that he did. I put it to him that he was too cowardly to actually answer it. And if that's wrong, he'll get up and he'll make a personal explanation when I finish. But I doubt that. But he's an absolute amateur. When it comes to the Lily-livered member for Lily, who, in his 2012-13 budget speech—
Order, member, Minister, Parliamentary Secretary, resuming seat. The member for McMahon on a point of order.
Mr Deputy Speaker, I'm very relaxed about what the honourable member said about me, but he should withdraw the assertion about the member for Lily.
The Parliamentary Secretary will withdraw that comment.
I withdraw. Well, that just proves, though, I withdraw unreservedly, unequivocally, but that just proves that the GrainCorp issue did come across his desk and that he was too cowardly to deal with it, because he was— well, you never approved it, you never did anything with it, and that's just the point. Your side of government never did anything with anything, apart from rack up a huge, huge debt. Now, we go to the budget speech by the member for Lily when he was Treasurer in 2012-13. This is his budget speech, 8th May 2012. And he says, "The 4 years of surpluses I announced tonight are a powerful endorsement of the strength of our economy, resilience of our people and success of our policies." Move on 12 months, and the following year he says, "Speaker, because of our deep commitment to jobs and growth, we have taken the responsible course to delay the return to surplus, and due to a savage hit to tax receipts, there will be a deficit of $18 billion in 2013-14. And you know, it just kept going on, because whilst there might have been $18 billion earlier this year, then it became more and more. And what we ended up inheriting was $370 billion worth of debt. And that's why today we have to increase the debt ceiling. Not because we want to, not because the Australian people want to, but because we have to, because of the abject failure of people on that side. And we hear the member for McMahon, and he was responsible in part. I won't say he was entirely responsible, because he only got the job of Treasurer when there was so much backstabbing on the Labor side that he ended up with the job. Nobody else wanted it. I mean, having failed with the boats policy, they gave him the job as Treasurer. They said, look, you've done such a bodgy— you couldn't do any worse job than the member for Lily, but you've done such a bad job with boats here. Try and have this portfolio. And he mucked that up too. The government is getting on with the business of dealing with the legacy of debt we inherited from Labor. Labor knew that the debt limit would need to be increased again, but didn't have the courage, just like the member for McMahon didn't have the courage with GrainCorp. They didn't have the courage to do so in the lead-up to the election. And the member for Lily said on 3AW on the 15th of May, when he was still Treasurer, that increasing the debt limit will be a matter for them. A matter for them. Who was he referring to? He was referring to us. Of course, he'd already waved the white flags after the election. They squibbed it. Labor squibbed it and focused on what seemed to be their core business. What would be the core business of Labor, do you think, in the last parliament? Fighting amongst themselves, executing prime ministers, squabbling over the scraps of who might be sitting on the front bench. But meanwhile, Australia was going down the gurgler. Meanwhile, our debt was going up and up and up. The uncertainty for families, for businesses, that mattered not to Labor. All they were interested in was just seeing who was going to knife whom. And why is there such a big debt? Well, you know, we can refer to the big book of Labor waste. You know, we had immigration, boats plan, $1.2 billion blowout. I see the member for McMahon looking across and wondering what document I'll table it, if you like. Building the education revolution. You know, $8 billion wasted. You know, we go through political advertising, $100 million. We go national broadband blowouts. I mean, who knows how much that's going to cost? Computers in school blew out by a massive $1.4 billion. It goes on and on. The green loans mismanagement. I mean, the program was eventually dumped after 3 independent reports found extensive mismanagement. Solar homes program, $850 million blowout. $54.25 million was wasted on operational expenses in the Carbon Capture and Storage Institute. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. And if you like, I'll table that document so the member for McMahon can read it a little later on when he gets over his cowardly performance about GrainCorp. The debt ceiling does need to be increased. It is unfortunate. It does need to be increased because of the waste that you blokes racked up.
Honourable Member Riverina, time is